Chief twit Elon Musk has apparently pissed off some of his new MAGA bros. Hmm. On Wednesday afternoon, Musk responded to a post on his platform X about the lack of American born engineering talent in Silicon Valley. Which is really strange because there's actually a lot of American born engineering talent. Weird. In fact, he writes, the number of people who are super talented engineers and super motivated in the USA is far too low. Think of this like a pro sports team. And here we go. If you want your team to win the championship, you need to recruit top talent wherever they may be. That enables the whole team to win. Oh man, that's weird. Focusing on the team over the individual sounds a bit communist to me. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Pink haired communist.
Welcome to the fight, Comrade Musk. Seriously, though. Ridiculous. No, here's what the real problem is, okay? And it ain't because there is no talent. There might be a lack of motivation, though, because of, well, let's be honest. The pay is not where it should be, okay, for Silicon Valley. There's also a lot of other factors like employee burnout, okay, when it comes to IT. And so, look, one of the problems, though, as I mentioned before, the high cost of living in Silicon Valley. All right. Look, in San Jose, for example, the price of basic necessities has increased dramatically over the last few years, according to a study by Doxo Insights. San Jose is first in how much residents pay on common household bills in the nation's 50 largest cities, beating Boston, New York, and San Francisco for the second year in a row. Disastrous. A report by apartments.com listed San Jose as one of the nation's most expensive cities to rent apartments, with an average of $3.34 per square foot, which is significantly higher than the national average. You need a lot of money to live there. Well, that's okay. I mean, these IT jobs, right? Well, they pay a lot of money if you're lucky enough to get a job in IT. Because there's another factor here. But first, let me just go through the cost of living. In the San Jose metropolitan area, as of early 2023, a single adult with no kids needs to make about $26.20 or about $54,000 annually to live. Well, like I said, some of those salaries for engineers pretty high. Anywhere up to 140K. Okay, all right. For an adult working in a household of four, you need $58.87 hourly, or about $122,500 annually. All right. So what's the issue here? Well, the issue here is there are people that are demanding higher salaries. Okay. Um, Obviously, highly trained and specialized workers are going to need those higher salaries more than just the survival rate. Okay. Now, that said, employers are going to try to pay the lowest amount they can for their labor. So you can see that you end up with this issue where CEOs in Silicon Valley, these companies, they find it that it's cheaper to import labor from other countries as temporary workers, as H-1B visa holders. Okay. Now, the result is they can pay the workers less, they have more control over them. And of course, these workers will not complain. Oh, no. So understand that this has nothing to do with talent or smarts, right? These companies just want a more expendable workforce and the ability to evade labor law. That's it. That's really it. It just comes down to that, right? A professor at Rutgers University had found that the U.S. actually graduates more STEM workers than the tech industry needs, and that STEM wages have stayed flat. For every two students that U.S. colleges graduate with STEM degrees, only one is hired into a STEM job. In computer and information science and in engineering, U.S. colleges graduate 50% more students than are hired into those fields each year. Of the computer science graduates not entering the IT workforce, 32% say it's because those IT jobs are unavailable, and 53% said that they had found better job opportunities outside of IT occupations, meaning that either, hey, well, there's not enough jobs because they're bringing in a lot of immigrants over from India to fill those jobs, right? Because they work for cheaper. And then as a result of driving down wages, which that's what these bosses are doing by hiring overseas cheaper labor, you have 53% of people with those degrees going, "Uh, this is not worth it. I would get paid better somewhere else. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, I'm going to go somewhere else. Um, Now, those are, again, some of the factors here. And you had Musk's followers pointing that out in the comments. In fact, one follower writes, there are over 330 million people in America. Surely there must be enough among them to build your ultimate team. Why would you deny real Americans that opportunity by bringing foreigners here? Musk replied, your understanding of the situation is upside down and backwards. Ah, right, sure. Of course, my companies and I would prefer to hire Americans, and we do, as that is much easier than going through the incredibly painful and slow work visa process. However, there is a dire shortage of extremely talented and motivated engineers in America. It, is that the real problem? Is that the real problem? I don't think so. But and you know what's funny? For one, that kind of blows out the argument that immigrants are coming in through the border and they're stealing, Americans' jobs. Kind of blows that out of the water, right? That's not what's happening. Okay, it's not what's happening. They're not coming into the country illegally. They're being hired legally and brought over with these H-1Bs. Okay, and secondly, he's lying about a lack of talent. Okay, the problem here is that bosses like Elon Musk have increasingly unrealistic expectations from their employees. And because of those unrealistic expectations, whether it be like how many years of experience they have, right? So, 2 to 5 years of experience in this thing. Whereas, with how fast the tech industry changes, you're not going to be able to have 2 to 5 years of experience in said thing because maybe it just came out 2 years ago. And how are you supposed to know in order to be able to get, the education and the experience in that thing that just came out? Doesn't make any sense, right? Not only that, but because of the pressure and the amount of stuff that they're needed to learn and to continue learning as technology progresses, and it progresses very fast, a lot of these engineers burn out real fast from the tech industry and end up going somewhere else. So those are real issues, okay, that are not being addressed here, by the way. And another Musk follower said that he should open a school to train Americans, adding, we have brains. Musk replied, if you need a school, you've lost already. Well, again, having a school wouldn't necessarily help this situation. Okay. And as other workers pointed out, quote, there's plenty of us talent. Maybe you are not offering enough. Yes. I work almost 60 hours most week, and I've been a lead systems engineer on several defense projects. And yet, every time I turn a resume into your companies, they get rejected. I've been told it's because of my salary. Another points out wages are too low because they are being systematically replaced by foreigners. You're going to lose a lot of political capital on this issue, bro. I see tech companies laying off high skilled tech workers all over the place the past couple of years, wrote another. I am an engineer of 10 years with plenty of friends that can't even get an interview after months and months. Where are you getting this information? Here is a great example of the disconnect between workers and the bosses. All right. The world's richest man is never going to realize that he is part of the problem. Instead, he's laying it all on the workers and laying it all on Americans, saying you're basically, oh, you're not smart enough. There's the whole, you're not smart enough and nobody wants to work. Really? Really? No, in reality, nobody wants to be exploited. There's so many people who are more than qualified being able to do these jobs, who are trying to get into these jobs and are cut out by unrealistic expectations, requirements on their resumes, as well as the ones who do have that relevant experience. They're getting lowballed. They're getting rejected in their salary, and so it's just cheaper for them, these companies, to go and hire people from other countries. That's it. It doesn't have anything to do with smarts, unless Elon Musk is saying that the American people are stupid and that people in foreign countries are much smarter. I don't know if you want to make that argument. I certainly wouldn't. Okay. But again, the companies don't want to stop doing this, bringing in these guest workers, because that's how they get rich. That's how CEOs like Elon Musk and his shareholders make tons of money. Labor will always be the biggest expense. The thing is, you get what you pay for. All right? You get what you pay for. You hire American workers, good workers, smart workers, because they are, and you're going to end up getting a better project and better results. Okay, that's what happens. All right, but you hire people that are temporary guest workers, and well, yeah, you might get a little bit more bang for your buck, or at least it might be cheaper. But then in 6 months to a year, they're gone. And then you bring in new people to replace it, and it becomes a mess. Your project becomes a nightmare, and it just doesn't work right. And so that's one of the problems, all right? But again, all of this is why Elon Musk will never be an ally to working people. If given the choice, people like him will always end up exploiting immigrant labor and then blame it on Americans and call them not smart enough. When in reality, we are smart enough to realize that both we and the immigrant labor being hired are the ones that are being exploited by you guys. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.